Welcome to the Panic Button. I'm Nina.
I'm Jessie.
And we were just talking about, my ex. My ex was a crazy Christian. I didn't know it until it was too late.
Right?
She was a born-again Christian, yeah, but I didn't know it. She lied to me, and I asked her right before we started dating. I said, I heard you were a Christian. She's like, no, my family is. I'm not. And I find out that she is. Anyway, mid-relationship, about the 1.5 year mark, she jets off to Kansas City? Is it Kansas City?
I don't know.
She jets off somewhere south and goes to this Christian fire in the night camp thing. I don't know. For 3 months. I guess it was a 3-month thing. During this time, we're still conversing on the phone, texting each other and stuff. Right before she was about to come back, she sent me pictures of herself. She had cut her hair. Her haircut was short.
Short like a dude's haircut or
Like
short
a,
like
like
a
pixie. She comes home. I go to pick her up. She hops in the car and she's got a wrap on her head. And I see she has no hair. This was the first time I knew that she was bald. Was seeing her, I first questioned, does she have cancer? Because I wasn't expecting her to not have any hair. I thought she showed me the picture, she had hair. She gets in my car, she has no hair. What happened between the picture and my car?
When you told me this story the first time, all I know is that she left to go get born again. And then she came back, no hair. And I was just convinced that somewhere in the Christian detainment, they shaved her head. This just shows the
No, she decided to do it herself.
This is the way that two different brains think. Because you're like, cancer, and I'm like, Christians.
No, so I was really
Continue.
concerned because I thought that she had cancer. Right? And she said that she shaved her head completely bald. She did it because she wanted to free herself and be a new person and all this stuff. So she's really happy and really proud of it. But it wasn't too long into that process when her hair just began to slightly grow back,
up?
but she was still bald. Yeah. She would go through these moods where she would feel ugly because her hair was short. I wish I never cut my hair, blah, blah, blah. I'm ugly. That's why she always wore earrings and stuff like that, to look more girly. So anytime these girls say, I shaved my hair, I feel great and I feel free, there is at least a little piece of her that feels ugly for doing it and regrets it.
Why do you think I only shaved half my head?
Yeah.
When I shaved, if you can find me on social media, good luck, number one. Number two, I had this shaved down.
Usually people who do that, who shave their head like that, they're going through some sort of crisis.
You know exactly how that happened, right? Did I ever tell you?
You were going through a crisis.
Yeah. I sat there and I was living with my ex and my roommate. I wanted to break up with her, but she wouldn't let me. So I went in the bathroom and I grabbed the razor. I turned it on and I just stared in the mirror. My ex walks in and she goes, I'll pay for someone to cut it for you. And I was like, hey, let's go. I'm not butchering my head. Because I would have ended up
Butchering your head.
looking like that. And I can't wear earrings. It makes me look like if I wear hoops. The bigger the hoop, the bigger the hoe. Oh, you have some crazy exes, dude.
I do.
You had one whose friend came in and set the bed on fire. Mm-hmm. You have the... Wait, hang on.
Do you know what it's like to
Why
be
does-
sleeping next to someone and always fearing that some weird dude is going to show up and set the bed on fire?
No. No, I can't say that I do.
That's what happens when you date women
I would leave.
who always have to have guy friends. Those guy friends are in love with them in some shape, way, or form. I don't care if they deny it. They end up crazy.
But there just feels to be an influx of fat phobia stuff right now. I feel like these people are just really triggered because everybody's going to the gym.
I hate New Year's resolutions because for me, they've always been about weight loss. I don't think there's been a single year where I haven't said, you know what, I'm going to lose weight this year. And I know a lot of y'all can relate to that. At the beginning of every year, there's just this immense pressure to be a better version of myself, which means a skinnier version of myself. Also, I ripped off my acrylics, so ignore my nubby nails. But what I hate seeing on my FYP, my timeline, whatever, is everyone else saying that. Because frankly, it's just not true.
If it's on your For You page, that algorithm knows everything. Maybe those messages you need to hear.
But equating healthier to skinnier is frankly just inaccurate. And frankly, having all of your New Year's resolutions revolve around your body is setting yourself up for failure. Because if it's this time next year, as in the end of 2023, and you haven't lost the weight, you'll feel like a failure. Like you just wasted another year. To clarify, I'm not saying that you did waste another year. I'm just saying that's how you'll feel. By the way, I'm wearing a really cool shirt right now, and it literally goes up to a 7X.
7 X's? Mm-hmm. That's 2 and then an extra remainder.
See, what got me was when she said, if you don't lose the weight by next year, you'll feel like a failure.
I had the hardest time losing weight when I was a kid. A lot of it was due to diet, I'm sure. I still managed to lose weight. And yeah, I felt like a failure, but like, you're knocking down these people on their own social medias who just want to do better. Like, no one's going out and attacking you and saying, you should go lose weight for your New Year's resolution. You're just saying that because she wants to or because I want to, it's inherently bad?
I know. When I drive
T-shirt.
around the neighborhood and I see someone going for a walk, usually they're overweight when I see them. And I get so happy because I'm like, look, you go. You're doing it by yourself. You don't even need anybody. Like that makes me happy. Yeah. But then there's people like this and they're getting on these people who are really trying and they're like, well, you're going to feel this way. You're going to feel down on yourself and like a failure.
So you might as well not try.
No, don't tell people that. Tell people, you know what? Even if you do fail, it doesn't mean that you will fail. It just means that you hit a stumbling block. But you got to keep going because that's the only way you win.
I got one better for you.
That's the only way you succeed. It's just by keep trying. Everybody fails. Everybody fails. That's the point of it. That's the point to get to your goal. You have to go through all these failures. You have to just accept that failing is just part of the process.
You may have failed at losing the weight, but if you put in any effort through that year that was different than before, congratulations. You successfully were healthier that year than the year before. And if you didn't see it the first time, you'll see it the next time. And maybe it's just what you're like, I'm not kidding when I say it. Everyone's diet's different. You might just have to find the right diet for you. For me, when I was vegan, it was the best thing for me. Probably gonna go back to that at some point. However, someone else might benefit from a keto diet. That's why some people have great success with keto, right? Their bodies work for keto. I would not work with keto. You gotta find the right thing for you and don't sit there and negate everyone's progress because you haven't had any or because you won't do anything.
Going back to what you said about if you didn't lose the weight, but at least, you made some
you were healthier.
progress.
You were healthier. I don't care what anyone says. You were healthier that year.
Making any progress is a win.
When I was in school, I would stay, because we had a little fitness center at my school. We could stay an extra period, go on a different bus. Mm-hmm. Whenever I could, which was at least 3 times a week, I would stay after and I'd work out in that facility, as well as my gym classes. I never lost any weight. But you know what? I still did it. And you know what? I was really fucking strong. I was probably a lot healthier. Mm-hmm. But, of course, I felt down on myself, but I knew I'm still taking the active steps to try. I'm not as unhealthy as I was before. And I mean, to sit there and dismiss that completely, it's really shameful, because it's why a lot of people end up down that rabbit hole of the fat positivity. And it's why people like that guy I was talking about, die at 33 years old. They won't do anything because they're always going to believe that they're a failure.
Fat positivity, isn't that like saying death positivity? Cancer positivity, diabetes positivity.
Type 2 diabetes positivity.
None of these things are positive. You can accept who you are and still want to do better. Anything is possible as long as you don't quit.
I literally reversed type 2 diabetes. I'm not kidding. I was a diabetic. I was taking insulin. Mm-hmm. I don't take insulin anymore. So you guys can sit there and you can dismiss things, but honey, are you going to a doctor? Are you injecting yourself right now? Because as someone who has done that, it is horrible. And it hurts. And it sucks. And you got to prick yourself all the time. Your fingers hurt. Like, nobody wants that. I didn't want that. And I put in the effort because I really didn't want that. Like, what are you doing? I've seen the absolute worst end of this, for the most part, because he hasn't died yet. And, you know, you're not helping anyone. People around you, yourself, you're just sitting there making us all feel some kind of way.
In 2023 and for like the rest of my life, I am just no longer entertaining any thought or discussion about like female beauty. I don't care if we're talking about relaxing beauty standards, expanding beauty standards. You can be beautiful even if you look like that. Like, I'm literally done. This man is considered one of the greatest living writers in the world. This man, one of the most genius directors. This man ran Russia and all its bitches. My utility does not come from my appearance. I am not an aesthetic object. I am a subject. I am a human being. Men are allowed to look like whatever and still be considered worthwhile, dynamic, interesting. I simply cannot have these discussions about who's pretty anymore. I'm so tired. I have stuff to do. I have things I would like to accomplish in this life. This is taking up too much of my time and energy, and it has for the past like 22 years. And like, I'm realizing that we cannot wait for society to like come together and be like, you know what? It's okay if you're an ugly woman. They're never gonna say that. Like, it's so hard to put down the need to be beautiful, but we just have to do it because they're never going to free us. Not to be dramatic, but we must free ourselves, ladies.
And the first way to free yourself is stop posting TikToks about it.
Yo, like, for real, are you an engineer? Are you a scientist of any type? Are you going to school to be a doctor? Because those are the people who can be ugly. Because guess what? They're so intelligent. They're so smart. They don't need to look good.
Mensa members.
Like they're going and doing things for real. Like she said, they're directors. There's people that you don't see. You're going on TikTok and asking for people to acknowledge you
But
as
listen,
if you're someone big.
There were people who didn't care about their looks so much.
that they did something.
They were working on other things so much they could give a crap about how they
Yeah.
looked.
That's what I mean. So if you're a doctor, if you're going to
If
write,
you want to do
writing
that,
things,
you can do that as
do
a
it.
woman. There's no one stopping you. Go. Do it. Go ahead.
please. What do you think we're up to? Like, come
There you
on
go.
now. Like, we're not going for looks on this stuff. We're not like, look at how great we look.
No,
Check
we
out
do
our
wear
TikTok.
makeup.
I don't often. I won't lie. I'm not gonna lie on this one. I've more often than
Okay,
not sat
I
behind
wear
the camera
makeup.
without.
And I could give a flying what anyone thinks about that.
And that's the thing. I sit down every single time with no eyeliner on. I'm like, hey guys, what's up? I'm not like, look at how pretty I am. In fact, I think I've explicitly said I'm fat and ugly a couple times on this.
Probably.
And that's okay. You know what? I commit a lot of time to other things and I work really hard. And so
Does it make you depressed to feel that way?
Why?
Fat and ugly?
only when my period's here.
But no, most of the time it doesn't get you down. Doesn't trigger you or anything like that.
About once every 3 weeks. Like,
Well, that's normal. That's a normal. No, it's a normal female thing. Gender, sex, cis,
When I-
biological woman thing.
When I
have
was
to
in
say so many
school-
words just in order to be correct.
when I was in
It's
school,
not
right?
correct.
Like middle school. And I
When you
was
were
like,
when I was 30.
hey, when you were 30, I was in my sophomore year. Sophomore year,
Okay,
actually.
you were in high school, okay.
I was in high school. I was 15 when you were 30.
Okay.
Almost 16. I was like, oh no, I'm fat and ugly and no boys want me. But like, I had boyfriends.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't boring. And I wasn't just something to look at. Like, I had a lot of guys who I was talking to, at least. I dated a guy, like, at least once every year.
If you're a fat woman and you complain all the time, a man's not going to want you.
You
but
know
if you're a
what?
fat woman who doesn't complain all the time, men will want you.
My boyfriends were like, she's great. She could lift me up and throw me across the room. She's funny, too. So, like, and that was it.
I'm gay. I
had a
am
good
like
time.
50, 60 pounds overweight. I could walk around with no makeup. I know men would still want me. So the whole like overweight thing is like no excuse.
No, and
No
she's
excuse.
not ugly.
It's all about it's about personality. It's about, being easy to be around.
That's it.
That's the thing. Just gotta be fun. Just be easy to be around. You don't even have to like entertain people. Just be cool.
To sit there and say that they should stop focusing on looks when you're talking about things that have nothing to do with looks.
Anyway, what do you guys think of the whole fat acceptance thing? Body positivity.
Are you positive?
Do you think it's a good thing? Do you think it's a bad thing?